You there? You there? Can you see me? Can you see me? Hello, my little ninjas. My name's Mike. This is my YouTube page, Mox News, and welcome to your Wake and Bake News at 7 p.m. I'm your host. Hello, my little ninjas. Moxie. My name is Mike. This is my YouTube page, and we are in a virtual loop. So let me see. I have lots of videos for you today. It's going to be mostly about the COVID. We're going to talk about China saying that the COVID was released. It was the origins of COVID start at a military base in Maryland. So, and there's been, in my opinion, a lot of confusion about where this did start and whether it was moved halfway through to the Wuhan labs. So hopefully we'll be able to discuss that a little bit. I don't have a ton of information on it. I'm going to play that video for you in just a minute because I want to heat up the bong. I owe Jackie Cat a big fat dab already. And speaking of which, it is Dabs for Donations Friday. So if you would like me to take a big fat dab in your honor, which would be my honor, all you have to do is give a donation, which is incredibly easy to do. All you have to do is there's clickable links in the text body of the video, or you can go to moxnews.com, or there are links in the chat. Unfortunately, it's not just as easy as clicking a button, but it's very close to that. Should take less than 2 minutes. I know clicking a button is much faster than 2 minutes, but it's very kind of you, and I will be happy to do a bong hit in your honor if you are so kind as to leave a little something in my bowl. That being said, I do have the video ready on the Chinese saying that that we should be investigating a laboratory in a military base in Maryland. I think this is, I knew this was going to happen, right? I knew that with this, Wuhan, China flu, Wuhan flu, Wu flu, I knew that this was going to push China, and China was going to push back. I knew this was going to happen, and I've been waiting and waiting for it to happen, and I promise you I will be looking for a whole lot more video on this. Today I could only find one clip, which was, in my opinion, and that's looking at the international news, the German news, the French news, the Japanese news. I don't get the Chinese news. If I got the Chinese news, I would look at it every single day. I used to get the Chinese news. I think it's CCTV. I think that's what it is. I used to get it, and then it disappeared. Just like I used to get RT America, and then it disappeared. Like it doesn't exist anymore. So, there's something going on with censorship in this country that's bigger than Facebook. So, bigger than YouTube. There's censorship going on the cable dial. There's censorship all throughout the land of the free. And I figure that's why I only saw one story out of 15 or 18 hours of news that I watched today. I only saw one story on China and the military base in Maryland. So I'm going to play that for you in just a minute. I think it's a very good video. It's not really a good video, but it does say this clearly, that China says we should be investigating a military base in Maryland for the origins of COVID. And China doesn't just talk out its ass. When it says something like that, I'm quite sure they've done their research. So much more than the mainstream media in this country. There can be no doubt about that. Okay, so that being said, I also have videos about protest in Europe over vaccine passport, which is now they're talking about requiring it, and I think they're requiring a vaccine passport in France. I'm not positive, but I think they are, and it's causing big protest. Not only is it causing big protest, places of business are saying, yeah, fuck you and fuck your COVID passport. Okay, we don't want that shit. Shove it up your ass, which is always good to hear. The people and the businesses that keep the city from collapsing. The businesses are what allows the city to continue. If it wasn't for the businesses, where would people turn for food, for all these things, clothing, all this stuff? They're not going to make their own clothing. They're not going to fucking grow their own food. So they need businesses. I'm so glad to see the businesses pushing back against this. I'll play that, and I'm so glad to see the people in the street pushing back against it too. There's nothing I like more than seeing people in the street pushing back against an over-intrusive comply or die police state, which France isn't quite a comply or die police state, just your basic police state at this point. But they're getting there. They're working on it. Trust me. Also, I have a thing about Jonathan Turley talking about employer-mandated vaccines. And the way that I see this, right, after Joe Biden's speech yesterday, after what he's been saying this week, the way that I see this is that Joe Biden, the President of the United States, wants anyone who's unvaccinated to lose their jobs. They want them Joe Biden wants them fired. That's the way I'm perceiving this. I could be wrong, but what I'm hearing is, yeah, you better have a vaccine mandate for your employees or fire them. They're talking about either you get tested weekly or you get the vaccine. I don't think that's how most of them are going to do it. They're just going to go, you have to have the vaccine to work here. And who wants to get a cotton swab shoved up in their nose to their brain, once a week, right? It's like this kind of blackmail thing. It's kind of like holding people hostage until you do as we say. Then we might release you. We might let you have your old life back. We might actually care about what you think when it comes to your health care, but I doubt it. It doesn't seem to matter at all at this point now, does it? And I guess the government has that right. It has that right to say, yeah, your opinion doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you think. We're the boss of you, and the sooner you figure that out, the sooner we'll all be able to move forward. This is what I hear. This is what I see. And I'm not a person who falls in line. I don't want to be that person. It's beyond don't want to be that person. I'm a good person. I make positive things happen in the world. I'm trying my best to do good things. And then what I hear is that, and I know that the vast majority of people out there are the same way, right? They want to be people who make good, positive things happen in the world. So why should they be told how they're supposed to live their lives? They're good people. Now you're like, oh, you can't go to the grocery store, you haven't been vaccinated. Oh, you can't come to our nightclub, you haven't been vaccinated. Oh, you can't eat here. Your kind's not welcome. Isn't that right, Queer Bar? Your kind's not welcome? Isn't that what you told us a couple days ago? People that are unvaccinated are no longer welcome at the Queer Bar. In other words, your kind is not welcome. Is that how it works now? Because you know what? 15 years ago, 10 years ago, 5 years ago, homosexual, gay, LGBTQ bars saying your kind is not welcome here is something unimaginable. I mean, it's even unimaginable to me now because they went through this for generations. The LGBTQ community, they've gone through this, yeah, your kind's not welcome here, forever. So why on earth would they do this to other people? It's this herd mentality, virtue signaling shit. Yeah, we're one of the good ones. Or it's free advertising. Oh, look, the queer bar. We better get up there and interview the people at the queer bar so everybody knows the queer bar, right? So it's free advertising. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's what they're thinking. You know, it's, oh yeah. But they said, the guy that they interviewed, they said there's a line out the door every night, right? So you don't need advertising. You don't even need free advertising. So I am just shocked at the direction this is going. You know, I mean, what are we supposed to do after this? But there are people, let's see, Arkansas just instituted a mask mandate ban. You are not allowed to mandate mask in Arkansas, which I believe there's a number of other states, but Arkansas just went into effect. I'll have that video for you. And, oh, and last week I was talking about an EMP attack, cyber attack, an EMP attack, and whoever it was I was talking to on the phone was like, what's an EMP? You know, it's a electromagnetic pulse, right? It's a weapon that's not talked about very much. And basically, if it's fired into an area, what happens is everything that runs on electricity no longer works. It just like burns everything out. It just, you know, it sends an electromagnetic pulse, which just fries everything that runs on electricity. So that no longer works. People are like, oh, I got a backup generator. It runs on electricity. You know, it produces electricity. It runs on gas. It produces electricity. It means it has the electrical. I think it would probably burn that out, because like a car, the cars won't work anymore. Anything that has an electrical system at all, it just fries. So, and I have a story about that, and they're talking about how America could be cast into the Stone Ages by one of these things. How we could lose all electricity for like a year. All right, so it's kind of hot up here in the studio with all the lights and everything. So I'm going to go ahead and play the video about China saying to look for the origins of COVID in a military base in Maryland. So I'm going to play that video for you now, and I'm going to get a bong hit ready for Jackie Cat. Again, if anybody wants me to do a bong hit for them, it's easy to leave a donation. It's Dabs for Donations Friday, and I will be most happy and even honored to do a dab for you. But first, Jackie Cat first, and I'm going to play this clip for you while I heat up the bong. And plus, this is what the show is mostly about, so I want us all to be on the same page with that. I'll be right back.
Well, China turning the tables on the U.S. in the search for the origins of COVID-19. Beijing says the World Health Organization should not investigate the Wuhan lab again, but it should look into a lab here in the U.S. In moments, Republican Congresswoman Nancy Mace, who says we have to hold China accountable for COVID. But first, to correspondent Mark Meredith. He's live for us at the White House. Mark, good afternoon.
Trace, good afternoon to you. The United States is urging China to be much more cooperative with the World Health Organization as it investigates how this pandemic first began. But China is simply flat out refusing to go along with this. China has long said it has no reason to believe that its lab in Wuhan is connected to this pandemic. And China has also accused the U.S. of basically amplifying the reason to label Wuhan as the center of all this for political purposes. And China says that's simply not the case. But China says this latest plan from the World Health Organization disregards common sense and, quote, defies science. China even wants investigators to look into an Army medical center in Maryland as a possible source for the virus, and critics say that China is simply deflecting here. President Biden, he's already ordered his intelligence agencies to piece together what analysts can come up with. A report on what the government has learned is expected at some point next month, but there's no guarantee, Trace, we're going to get definitive answers. This week, a bipartisan group of senators also sent a letter to the president urging him to keep the pressure on China. And they go on to say, we expect that Congress will remain fully informed of and consulted on your efforts to reach definitive conclusions regarding the origins of this pandemic, as well as any concrete policy recommendations. So not only is the White House asking for answers, but members of Congress of both parties are as well. And the Biden administration says this is not just about figuring out what happened in 2019, 2020. They say this is also about preventing future pandemics, something everyone, of course, has a vested interest in. Trace?
Yeah. Mark Meredith live at the White House. Mark, thank you. Let's bring in Republican Congresswoman Nancy Mace of South Carolina, who was on the Oversight and Reform Committee. Congresswoman, it's always great to have you. Nancy Pelosi says investigating the origins of COVID-19 is a distraction. It seems to be a pattern on the left. If they don't agree with something, it's a distraction. It's disinformation. You're a denier. It's conspiracy theory stuff. How do you battle against that?
Well, I can say for starters that Nancy Pelosi is playing defense attorney for Communist China. She is not allowing any hearing on the origins of COVID-19. Republicans recently, House Republicans, had to have a forum with different medical experts, including the Assistant Secretary to HHS under former President Trump, about this issue. And even he agrees that there ought to be more transparency and an investigation into the origins of COVID. But right now, Nancy Pelosi is playing hide and seek. She doesn't want to get down and figure out what's really going on and what happened. This is a massive, massive pandemic that is affecting everybody around the world, and we're just letting China literally run away with it.
Yeah, but if the question becomes, if the World Health Organization can't even get China to cooperate, what's Nancy Pelosi going to do? What's the United States going to do? Beijing has said, look, we don't want this looked into. It's going to be very hard to put their feet to the fire. What's the solution?
Right. A solution would be to have an actual public hearing on the origins of COVID. When you talk to doctors and medical experts, everyone believes that it started in a lab in Wuhan. One of the things that the United States can do, and this is not an overnight solution, but rather than a slap on the wrist to China, really work on our regulatory policy and trade with other nations to ensure that we're manufacturing less in China and manufacturing more here in the United States or other countries around the world. That is one way that we can have an effective change on this and punish them by taking business away from them. They're taking over the world here. They started this pandemic, and we ought to hold them accountable.
Yeah, you've gotten a lot of pushback, Congresswoman, kind of changing subjects a little bit for pushing back on wearing a mask at the Capitol. You tweeted the following yesterday, quoting here, "A dangerous example is directing police to arrest you over a mask. A dangerous example is telling the American people vaccines don't work. They do. A dangerous example is allowing COVID-sick illegals to spread COVID here. Socialist left policy is making COVID worse." I want to kind of ask if in the wake of the new information from the CDC that this might be as transmissible, as infectious as chickenpox, that you would change your stance in any way.
No, I would not change my stance in any way. Yesterday morning, when I walked into the office in D.C., we were told that the Capitol Hill police were directed to arrest staff and visitors to the Capitol if they were not wearing a mask. When we want to get people vaccinated, and I had COVID, not only did I have COVID, but I had a case of long COVID, and it was a horrible experience. I'm also vaccinated. I'm encouraging everyone to get vaccinated because it's going to save lives, and I've said that message over and over again, but it sets a very dangerous precedent to tell the American people that we're going to arrest you if you choose not to wear a mask. Rather than do that, we should be encouraging low-income areas and the hot spots around the country, really going into those places surgically and asking people to do the right thing and get vaccinated, making sure that they have access to vaccinations, because that's the only way that we're going to get through this thing.
But just seconds ago, Admiral Brett Giroir said, what he's in favor of is people wearing masks, even if you're...
Okay, enough of her, Nancy. She said everyone knows COVID came from a lab in Wuhan. Everyone knows that. Apparently, except for the 20 million people that signed the petition asking for an investigation into the lab at Fort Detrick in Maryland, everybody except for the 20 million people who signed that petition asking for an investigation. So, yeah, everyone knows, everybody knows that it came from a lab in China. Is that what you know? Do you know that? I mean, Nancy knows that. Huh, Nancy? All right, I'm going to do this dab. This one is for Jackie Cat because she is so wonderful. Man, I wish the world was filled with Jackie Cats. What a wonderful world that would be. This one's for you, girl. Woo! All right. All right. All right. All right. All right. I'm feeling much better now. Thank you, Jackie Cat. Okay. So, here we are. Here we are. Here we go. Hello, caller.
Michael, you handsome son of a bitch.
What's up, G?
What's up, dog?
You doing good? You get moved yet?
Yeah, I was hoping that I could do take a hit with you, but unfortunately, it looks like you already got to it.
That one was for Jackie Cat. I wanted to make sure that she knew it was for Jackie Cat.
Well, you know what? I'll take a hit to Jackie Cat too right now.
Awesome.
This one's for you, Jackie. If you can hear it.
Nobody deserves it more. Nobody deserves it more.
Shout out, Jackie. Woo woo. Gang gang.
Woo woo. Suck it harder.
All right. Woo!
Woo! Do it right.
That's that good shit, dog.
Nice. That unicorn dick.
Killer Mike's on hold right now, and I apologize, Killer Mike. Killer Mike, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for everything I did to you.
For what now?
Stop being mad at me, Killer Mike.
What did you do?
Son of a bitch.
What did you do?
I don't know. I don't know what I did.
Well, don't apologize if you don't know what the fuck you did, man. That's a fake apology.
I don't know. I just want him to like me.
He doesn't like anyone, man. Jackie.
This one's for you, Mike.
Right on, Pete.
Woo woo. Gang gang.
Jackie Cat said thanks, by the way. Okay, so let's see. Where'd you get a place at?
Nowhere yet, dog.
Oh, I thought you said you found
Definitely
a place.
not Roach Motel.
Well, that's good. Roach Motel is gonna bother you forever.
Yeah, definitely staying away from that place. Maynard, Massachusetts.
Maynard?
No, it's not named after... Yeah, it's not named after the fucking lead singer of Tool.
Tool is really?
It's a small town in Massachusetts.
Well, it's too bad they don't lie about that because they probably get more tourists.
Nah, he's not that cool.
Oh, come on, dude. Oh, wait, what band did you say? Tool? Oh, come on, dude. Those guys,
dude,
those guys are as good as
I
it
don't want to
gets.
get into a Tool argument.
Right.
I argue about this fucking stupid band too much.
They're fucking amazing.
I disagree.
I would love to see them.
One of the most overrated bands ever.
You know, all of them are PhDs, right? Everybody in the band is a PhD.
Deal.
I know. I hear you. But they're not new. They've been around a while. I mean, way before Tool. So what now? You getting that? We getting the weed from your friend, or you getting it from your mom?
Actually, turns out, yeah, Homeboy only is growing for himself.
Wow, that is rough news, dude. I know you were so looking forward to that.
Well, I haven't bought weed from him for a long time, so he's always, for a while he's just been doing it on his own.
Yeah.
So I told him, I was like, bro, if you want to grow some more weed, I'll buy.
Yeah.
He's good. He definitely knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
But I get weed from the moms as well, so that's some good quality shit.
Yeah.
So.
And it's legal in Massachusetts. They have stores and stuff there.
Yeah, it's super. Yeah, they have people. I literally was driving through Massachusetts the other day, and there was a kid, and he had a sign in his hand. He was jumping up and down vigorously, and the sign said "recreational marijuana" with an arrow that pointed into the store.
It should say weed store.
Yeah.
Weed store right here. Weed store. Weed store. That's what
people were going in, and yeah, it's everywhere. Yeah.
Good.
Well,
that's the way it should be.
Like, literally right now it's popping in New England, especially in Massachusetts. Like, there's places opening up over here like crazy.
Awesome. This should be.
And it's not recreational in Rhode Island.
Yeah.
So Rhode Island people are like fleeing like the Jews and the Holocaust into Massachusetts for marijuana. And yeah.
I imagine other states around it too.
That's why Rhode Island is fucking up, because they should just legalize it and tax it like Mass does.
The whole fucking country, the whole federal government is screwing up, dude. I mean, there's no reason for cannabis not to be legal, except for we want there to be a black market.
At this rate, they're going to merge Rhode Island and Massachusetts and Connecticut into the same state, which
No,
it
they're
probably
not.
should be anyway.
No, they're not. That is not going to happen.
No, I'm just kidding. That's a bad idea.
It's not that it's a bad idea, it's just never going to happen.
No, it is a bad idea.
All right. I don't
I'm all
know.
about division, Mike.
Not me, brother.
States' rights. Hey, man. States' rights is what it's all about.
Oh, I agree with that. So we got plans for the
We were
weekend?
talking about the lab leak theory, right?
Well, not really. China says that we should be, instead of investigating Wuhan, we should be investigating a lab in Maryland in Fort Detrick, in military base.
Yeah, which probably is where it was developed and then taken to China.
Right.
China's not innocent, these cocksuckers.
No, I don't think.
Let's
I
not try
don't.
to act like these motherfuckers are squeaky clean.
Anybody who's got a lab like this, in my opinion, is in no way innocent.
Yep. Fauci and Killer Mike killed me on this at first because I didn't know anything about Fauci. Remember that? But oh boy, did he make me angry. But
is that what you're apologizing
Fauci
about? Why didn't you just say what you're apologizing about? Jeez.
Fauci was the guy that like funded all this shit from the Maryland lab or whatever.
Look. All I'm saying is what China said, and because this should be giant news, and for whatever reason, it's not top of the news everywhere. That tells me a lot.
Right on.
That's why I brought it up. I had a different title for the show, and then I was like, no, this is more important. This is way more important. So, well, you got plans for the weekend, bro?
Oh, man. Smoke some ganja.
Well, that does sound pretty good.
I'm trying to move it. God damn. Is Killer Mike still on the line? Like,
I don't fucking know. You think I give a fuck what's going on?
I don't know. Hey, man, I'm just packing a bowl and I'm gonna smoke it.
Good. That sounds like an excellent plan. That's your whole weekend plan, huh?
No, well, I gotta go look at an apartment tomorrow in Massachusetts.
Awesome.
Hopefully I can move there.
Yeah.
So I don't have to drive an hour and 30 minutes to work every day and then back.
What day did you start at work?
Sometimes more. Huh?
Did you start at work already?
Oh, yeah, started at work. Work's going great, but it's like commute.
Yeah.
Commute?
Yeah.
Communism? The commute?
An hour and a half.
It's bad, bro.
Hour and a half both ways. That's a pain in the ass.
Yeah, it's bad.
Is there a lot of...
Move out to old Massachusetts IA.
Is there a lot of traffic?
Maynard.
Is there a lot of traffic?
Yeah, it's terrible, bro.
Oh man, fuck that.
People bitch about LA, you know, and New York. Fuck that. Boston is not talked about at all. But yeah, you can't drive around in Boston. It's insane. No matter where you go.
Yeah.
Take fucking train. Don't own a car. Just fucking take public transportation if you're smart.
I walk.
Like me.
I walk everywhere.
My dumbass owns a car. I gotta drive around everywhere.
You should get a fucking
idiot.
electric skateboard, dude. What the fuck are you thinking?
That would be fantastic.
Yeah, of course. I mean, come on, out of the Stone Ages, dude. Come on. People been riding those sticks forever. This is the new thing. This is the 21st century. You need to get with the program, man.
Damn, I forgot. Where's all my weed at?
Good question. I know where mine is at all
You ever
times.
lose your weed and you're like, damn, where's my weed?
I
literally don't know where my weed is right now.
I've dropped tabs of acid on the carpet before and gone, oh fuck, now I look like a fucking crackhead. I know it's down here somewhere. Shit.
There's some weed in here already. All right, we'll smoke this. This one's for you, you cock fucking suckers. Assholes. I hate all you motherfuckers. This one's for you.
Tell us how you really feel, Pete.
Baboosh. I love y'all cocksuckers.
Sploosh. I've been watching Archer. I've been watching the cartoon Archer. I'm binge watching it right now because there's new episodes coming out in August. And I didn't know that until I started watching it. And I was like, I gotta rewatch everything now. Because I haven't watched, because there's like 11 seasons. And Sploosh is one of the ones.
I just bought HBO Max, which is like $13 a month.
Lame.
And they have all the South Park episodes.
Oh, that's really... Are you familiar with all the South Park episodes?
I mean, I've watched like the first like 8, 9 seasons.
Can you search it? Can you search
in
it?
and out? No, they have every single episode.
Right. I'm just wondering if you can search like for a certain episode, like if you know the title or whatever. Do you know that? Do you know if you can?
Yeah.
Okay. You want to look for the one called Vindaloo Loop. Vindaloo, as in curry. You know Vindaloo. Vindaloo Loop.
Curry?
Yeah, Vindaloo Loop is freaking amazing. It's fucking brilliant. I watched it a few days ago. Fucking brilliant, dude. It will blow your fucking mind. Vindaloo Loop.
Do you know what season that is?
I can look it up for you. Jesus Christ. Oh yeah, I can search it. Here, let me find it for you. Oh man.
You got a fucking computer in front of you fucking cocksucker? Look it up.
Vindaloo recipe, curry recipe. Let me see, just a sec here.
Yeah, curry. You're talking about curry. I'm thinking food.
Hold on. Oh man. Let's see. It says season 18.
Season what are your preferred South Park seasons? Because
season 18.
If you had to recommend
season 18, episode 7. Is that it, really? Is that the one? Grounded Vindaloo. That's it, yeah. Season 18, Episode 7. Wow. Awesome. Mind-blowing. I can give you others if you want. The one.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to ask you. What are your
Do you remember when Al Gore?
preferred seasons or best episodes?
Do you remember when Al Gore was on?
Check out Full Life.
When Al Gore was on South Park and he was talking about Man, Bear, Pig.
Oh yeah, of course.
Okay, Al Gore came back.
That's an old.
Al Gore came back in the last, I don't know if it was 2 seasons ago for the last season or the one before, but he came back. And everybody was begging for his help because Man, Bear, Pig is real. Let me see which one that is. 12 years after. Let me see which episode this is. Come on, fuckers. They're being bitches. Hold on. So, there it is. Hold on. Oh, fucking cunts. Episode. Let's see. Episode 10. Right? No.
I know Killer Mike. Killer Mike is just sitting there stewing, boiling with rage.
About what? He doesn't smoke enough pot.
I don't know.
You know, that's what the deal is with that guy. He doesn't smoke enough
Killer
pot.
Mike, I love you.
Smoke more weed. That's a message for all of you. Smoke weed.
right
I can't
now.
find it. Smoke weed. Smoke weed. Smoke weed. Smoke weed. It's just a thing, you know, it's just a thing. Or eat it, one or the other, it's up to you. Pete prefers eating it, right, Pete?
All day, dog. That's what's up.
Pete has a seriously awesome gummy recipe. I will get him to post it on the YouTube one of these days, I hope.
Very simple. It's
Yeah.
just time consuming. That's the only thing.
Well,
It's
fucking
simple and
video
time-consuming,
it.
That's all.
Video it so people know exactly how to do it, because I don't know how to make gummies, and I'm sure lots of people would like a good recipe, so make a video about it and post it, and we'll link it for you.
Easy, dog. It's like you make a packet of Jello. You know, you buy Jello.
Don't.
Just follow the instructions. That's it. That's all you gotta do. You take a cup. You take a cup of your infusion. Right?
Urine. You take
You
a
just
cup
add
of
it to the
urine?
Jell-O.
A cup of urine? Is that what you said?
No, your infusion.
What the fuck is this?
You do have to
Urine
get some
infusion.
gelatin, actually.
Yeah, like I'm saying it, dude. You should put it online so people can see. People aren't fucking. They can't hear what you're doing anymore. They need visual assistance in order to understand what's happening.
Maybe you're right. I make them good, dude.
That's what I just said. You have like the recipe. You should be sharing it with the
I'm
world.
gonna blow your mind, motherfucker.
You should be sharing it with the world. That's all I'm saying.
I'll show you, motherfuckers.
One day,
It
my
will
love
blow your
will
trees.
come. Yes. I'm going to the ocean
It's
this
so
weekend.
easy. It's ridiculously easy to make. I mean, like I said, it's just time. It's very time consuming. Actually, mixing the Jello with the gelatin, that's easy. You know, but the infusion with the the cannabis and the butter or the oil, whatever, that's the worst. You gotta go for a long time, bro. You go for like 6-8 hours. You know, man.
Yeah, I do mine for
Getting good.
24 hours.
Woo! Woo!
Oh.
Yeah, that's what's up. That's some real G shit. Maybe I'll try that.
You should. What are you talking about?
So what temperature do you got it at when you're doing that?
I just put it in the crock pot and let it bubble. It doesn't go above 210 degrees.
It bubbles? You
Yeah.
have it bubble?
Yep.
It bubbles for that long?
Pretty much.
Wow, okay. So that's pretty hot.
If you say
Boiling
so.
it, dang.
It's not really boiling. It's just below boiling. It's just, it doesn't go above 210. That's what I'm telling you.
Okay.
I don't think it's that hot.
Trying to learn here. I'm trying to learn here, Michael.
It's not that complicated. I have multiple videos posted online of how to make fucking butter. Type butter into Mox News fucking videos and you'll find it right away.
I know, I've watched it.
So.
But I've seen different methods. So.
Okay.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Experimenting.
You should stop saying I don't know. That's not a good thing. You do know.
I don't.
It like takes away your personal power because you do know. It's like, and it makes you, sound weak. You're not weak. It's like you're like asking for help. I don't know. Help me, Mr. Wizard. I don't know. Come on, dude. You're better than that. That's all I'm saying. Go write some fucking music and buy a fucking electric skateboard. You'll feel like you know everything. Hello?
All right.
What?
How?
How what?
All right, Don.
All right. I'm going to the beach this weekend. I'm going to fucking ocean. That doesn't happen here a whole lot.
Where are you going?
Aberdeen. That's where Kurt Cobain lived before he got all rich.
Wow.
Cool, huh? We don't even have to make names.
Beach
Fucking.
community?
It's a few miles
You
from
do
the
some
beach.
surfing?
No, just run on the beach with the dogs. That's my fantasy day.
Okay.
So I get to make it happen this weekend. Ha ha.
All right.
All right, Pete. It's good to hear from you.
Michael.
It's good to hear from you. I hope you find a place really soon, man. That drive must take it out of you.
You don't even know, Don. All right. Take care.
Okay, it's good to hear from you. Stay cool. Have fun.
Okay.
Yeah, you too. Pete's sign-outs are usually much more bold, should I say? He must be smoking some good weed. I hope it's true. And get a fucking electric skateboard, man. What are you thinking? You can park 10 miles away, and then ride that baby into work. Everybody be so jealous. Pete's so cool. We want to be like Pete. Funny because it's true. All right, so where were we? Right, we were trying to have a discussion about going to the beach this weekend and writing music. Was that it? The number's right there on the screen, 805-669-6397. I'd love to have a talk with you about should there be investigations going on in other places for the creation, or is Wuhan Lab, is that where it's at? Is all Wuhan Lab? Is that where it came from? Or are there more places involved? That's the real question here. China says there's more places involved than just Wuhan. And And there's a petition online with currently over 20 million signatures to do an investigation for the WHO, the World Health Organization, to do an investigation at Fort Detrick in Maryland, United States. Hello, caller.
Is this the COVID-19 show?
No.
Is this the COVID-19 episode?
No.
Well, dude, is it okay to talk about COVID-19 now?
It depends. Are you going to spew a bunch of statistics?
Well, no. But I'm going to talk back.
Okay. Look, I've been watching the show for the last week, and they go, no. A lot.
So do it anyways? Is that what you're saying?
No.
Does that mean yes?
No.
You're just funning me. You're just playing with me, Mike. But no, just take the example of a geopolitical event like bombing, like what's his name, the president of Syria, Assad, gassing his own people. And then you got 2 or 3 different sides, different stories, and most of the stories are specifically for the purpose of obfuscating the truth, of covering up the truth and throwing bullshit in the water, dirtying the water. That's what China is doing when they say we should be looking for origins of COVID-19 at a military base in Maryland. But of course, that's what I told you a year and a half ago, is where it came from the U.S. Armored facility in Fort Detrick, Maryland. It's true, but the virus that was accidentally released into the global population didn't, only the lung cell lines came from Fort Detrick. Then they went to Wuhan, and the Chinese government changed them to what we know now as SARS-CoV-2. And the French were warning about potential biohazards in 2017. The leak came at the end of 2019, and here we are.
The French were supplying security for the Wuhan lab, top security, and they left security because they were upset with what was happening there at a certain point. I don't know what year that was, but
yeah, that was 2017. You're exactly right. They wrote a bunch of letters to somebody and complained about it, but nobody paid any attention. And a year and a half, 2 years later, we got the global lockdown and people wearing masks, Congress arguing about masks this and masks that. Now you got protests in multiple Middle East countries, Greece, Italy, France, England, Australia, not so much in the United States. It's very sporadic in the United States. But when I say that's an obvious, it's true, what your headline says. We should be looking for the origins at a military base in Maryland, but that's just obfuscation. They're covering up the fact that they altered those, I think they were monkey kidney cell lines. They're all identifiable. You look at them under a microscope, you can identify, just like the anthrax, you can identify that it came from New Mexico, whatever that place is in New Mexico. Same thing with this. You can identify it came from Maryland. That doesn't mean that the whole current virus structure was made in Maryland. It means that Obama stopped gain of function at a certain point, and Anthony Fauci did the end around and went, did a sub-grant to Echo Health Alliance, and they gave $700 million to the Wuhan lab, which nobody has control over except the Chinese. That's the real story. But so what? We're all locked down. That's just China saying, oh, the Americans did this and the Americans did that. Yeah, well, that's true. They did do something. But so did China. And everybody has known this for almost 2 years now. So it's a fake headline. It's like, oh, how dumb are we? China can talk this and talk that, but every researcher on earth that's known this for a year and a half. So I'm glad it's getting out, but it's not the full truth. I'm glad Rand Paul is hammering Fauci, but he's not getting to the real truth. Everybody's just got a piece of the truth, and it's more complex than any one person could possibly know. So I'm not spouting any statistics. I don't want to bore people, but as far as the EMP thing goes, you can avoid your electronics, like your computer or your phone, getting fried by an EMP by putting them inside of a Faraday cage. And if in that movie Enemy of the State with Will Smith, it was like 1990, 2003, something like that. That guy, the weird guy, the ex-NSA spy, he had his entire office in a Faraday cage. And I have a friend who's that radical where he shields his computer with a Faraday cage. So you can do it with your phone. You can buy special Faraday cages with your phone, which makes them untrackable and uninterruptible. So, but in 1860, there was this event called the Carrington event, and it was caused by the sunspots and it fried all the telegraph lines. That was in 1860.
Yeah, I think I've heard about that.
Yeah, and so they're really worried the sun is going to take a big giant shit on planet Earth and fry everything on one half of the planet. That would be another Carrington event. It's similar to an EMP. EMP does a similar thing. I don't know if they can have EMPs in just a specific location. I guess the electromagnetic pulse can work in a couple square mile radius if it's a small one. So
that's what I would think.
Everything out.
I don't know. I'm not sure how it works exactly, but it's it's something that's been talked about. I haven't seen it. Haven't seen any evidence of it being used anywhere. So.
Yeah, they've been talking about both the Carrington event and EMPs for decades, and you see EMP strikes mostly in the atmosphere from, of course it happens during nuclear blasts. They have a electromagnetic pulse that goes out from a nuclear blast. So
it's illegal to do nuclear blast in space.
No, not in space. This would be in
okay.
above the city.
Okay. I heard you say in space. I got confused.
Yeah, I don't know what they do in outer space, but I know if they can develop a localized EMP, they will. They've already got what you call tactical nukes, which might have gone off in certain cities already. And I'm sure, DARPA and the Mossad and all kinds of France and England, they've got tactical nukes. They're really afraid of that. And the Homeland Security...
Who's really afraid of that? Who is really afraid of that?
The intelligence services. They try to keep a track. Because, if you lose one Russian nuke, you can split it up into 10 pieces and have 10 tactical nukes, depending on how much plutonium there is and stuff. But you see a dozen different spy movies about tactical nukes and Russian bombs being stolen by terrorist groups and...
oh, you mean the propaganda about everybody needs to be afraid of it.
Right. So they use that to make excuses for Homeland Security and PNAC and all the terrorists, and they're coming over the southern border with nuclear weapons and blah, blah, blah. It's all, you just did shows last week about FBI fabricating events to boost their own likes on Facebook. So, they're not the only intelligence service that does that. But I'm not worried about EMPs right now. I would like the truth of this latest terrorist event called Covid-19 to come out. And, of course, the Internet and all the truth tellers and all the bullshitters, they're all squished right now. The internet is squished, and I'm glad you're able to say something about it. I didn't catch where that came from. Was that CNN? Where was that clip from?
Fox.
Oh, Fox. Good. Well, yeah, they should be.
That should be everywhere. It should be top of the news everywhere, and that tells me a lot.
Well, considering it's less than one half of the real story, it's good that every detail comes out. Just don't.
Well, if you're looking for the origins, it sounds like that's a good place to look next.
Yeah, shine a light on Fort Detrick. You know that original movie that came out almost 2 years ago called Plandemic was made right in my town, and that lady that got thrown in jail by Dr. Fauci, she was kind of like the lead star of that movie, and she was talking about Fort Detrick, Maryland, almost 2 years ago. So it turns out that all the crazy conspiracy theorists were right, and I've learned enough about it to say, yeah, well, we should be looking at Fort Detrick in Maryland, but China is throwing that story out, not for good purposes. They're throwing that story out so that they don't get hammered by all of the other countries in the world.
Well, okay, so why didn't they throw it out a year and a half ago?
Oh, they're just waiting, man. They're really
waiting to get hammered for a year and a half, which you just said they don't want to get hammered by the whole world for it. You know, it doesn't, what you're saying, come on. I don't understand. I've been waiting. I kept thinking that they, you know, they're only going to be pushed so far and then they're going to be pushed back because there's obviously, they have, you know, more intel on the whole situation than we have or ever going to get. So it's only a matter of time. But now you're saying that it's some kind of cover. I don't think it's cover in any way. And yeah, of course it's not the whole story. Of course it's not the whole story. You know?
It's total cover because they're monitoring the world press. And right now, Rand Paul is hammering Fauci, and everybody's crying about Wuhan. And this is their way of pushing back. It's like, you know, when that movie mogul Harvey.
They're pushing back against the propaganda media. Okay, it's not. That's what's happening. That's what I said. I'm surprised it took this long. You know, because it's not something new they just figured out.
No, it's not something new the Chinese figured out. They've known the whole story from the get-go.
Yeah.
But now that you know, I'm watching Facebook and it's a little bit more lax. I get a little warning, but I'm not getting kicked off of Facebook for 30 days. I'm watching YouTube and there's all kinds of videos and only maybe one of 20 is getting eliminated. And so...
That's still a lot, so you know.
Yeah. Concerning the COVID-19 stuff.
Well, it's a lot regardless of what, 1 in 20 videos. But yeah, if that's what you're talking about specifically, 1 in 20 videos is still a fucking lot.
It used to be 1 in 10 or 1 in 5.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's ridiculously fucking horrible.
So
but it's still a lot.
My point is we're a little bit more allowed to have an open type conversation. I don't think you have anything to worry about.
Yeah, thanks a lot for letting me know.
Yeah, well, and so...
You let me know when you have a YouTube page that has almost 12,000 videos currently on it, and then we'll have a chat, okay, about that?
No, I dig where you're coming from. You want to protect your archive and your whole scene.
And it's not just a bunch of me blathering on. My archive are historical data that, you know, is actually important to the world.
So, I think we're having a completely legal, in quotation marks, legal conversation right now where you're not in any danger.
That's never mattered. All of our conversations have been legal. That's never mattered to them. What matters, they don't care about whether it's legal or not. They care about whether you're talking like, you know, you're giving medical advice. That's what they're saying. They're talking like, oh, he's telling them to take these pills or whatever, you know. And or they're, you know, oh, they're talking about the statistics, which they clearly don't know anything about because they're not doctors, So I'm being careful in that area, because I'm not here to give anybody medical advice. I've said this over and over. You need, except for cannabis, you need to take your cannabis every day, like a good boy and girl, good boys and girls. I'm telling you, that's some of the best information I can give you. Now, that being said, I'm not here to give you medical information, okay? I don't want to be that, okay? There's lots of places for you. I'm not a scientist. I'm not a doctor. I'm a simple caveman journalist. All this test tubes and computers that they don't work in my brain.
No, I dig the difference between recommending medicines and trying to research origins. A completely different subject matter. And you notice I'm not recommending any medicines or anything. So I'm trying to be on your side and be considerate of what what could get you in trouble and what won't. So I hope we're doing okay so far.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna do that to you.
Okay, I gotta go get a cup of tea, dude.
Yeah, I gotta go have some noodles.
Oh, awesome! Enjoy.
Take care.
See. All right, I will be back momentarily. He was talking about the EMP attacks, which I was talking about last week, which is EMP stands for electromagnetic pulse. And what they're saying in this story, which is from Pat Robertson in the Christian Broadcast Network, I don't know. I like I said, I watch everything. And they're talking about cyber attacks and the Christian and the EMP attacks. And what I found out interesting was they're saying that a proper cyber attack or an EMP attack could put the United States in complete darkness for a year or more. So I thought that besides the EMP talking about it last week, I thought that was also very important information for us all to know. I'm going to go heat up my tea and I will be back momentarily. It's not a very long clip. Stay cool. Be right back.
We need a bipartisan commission with experts who put country ahead of party to come together just as the 9/11 Commission did.
Sorry, it's not that one. It's number 8. Hold on. That was number 4. It's number 8. Hold on.
So in other news,
you bet.
What might lead to a shooting war between the United States, Russia, and China? The answer, a major cyber attack. So what's the president saying about it? CBN senior international correspondent George Thomas has that.
Pat, the president met with members of our U.S. intelligence community this week and suggested that if America were to end up in a real war, he believes it would be because of a major cyber attack. As you know, Pat, a number of recent attacks against key government agencies and critical infrastructure, such as an oil pipeline and major meatpacking plants, have shown the extent of America's cyber vulnerabilities. The president said these and other attacks reveal just how damaging cyber threats are. Take a listen.
We've seen how cyber threats, including ransomware attacks, increasingly are able to cause damage and disruption in the real world. I can't guarantee this, and you're as informed as I am, but I think it's more likely we're going to end up, if we end up in a war, a real shooting war with a major power, it's going to be as a consequence of a cyber breach of great consequence. And it's increasing exponentially, the capabilities.
The president didn't say who we might go to war with, Pat, but the administration has accused Russia and China of orchestrating some of the recent attacks.
An excellent report on the vulnerability of our power grid. How exposed are we, in your opinion?
Yeah, Pat, it's a big challenge. The biggest challenge is that many of America's, vulnerabilities, their vulnerabilities are very, the electricity systems weren't designed to protect against cyber threats or EMP attacks. The experts I've spoken to, Pat, say Russia, China, North Korea, and Iran all have a plan for a combined arms attack on the U.S. electric power grid as a way of winning World War III quickly quickly and decisively, in essence, paralyzing U.S. military power so that they don't even have to do battle with our forces. One study assessed that an attack on just 9 of 2,000 transformer substations could cause a nationwide blackout lasting more than a year. And the consequences, as you can imagine, would be devastating. No running water, no lights, no electricity. In 72 hours, as emergency generators fail, there would be massive food spoilage, threatening our national food supply. We could also see paralysis of police, hospitals, emergency services, government, military. And Pat, finally, in 7 days after emergency generators run out of fuel and batteries fail, the nation's 100 nuclear power plants will go Fukushima. Pat?
George, frightening. Ladies and gentlemen, we've been warning for years about this. And an interesting thing, the big transformers that can get knocked out are made, you guessed it, in China. And it would take about a year to get them. We should be stockpiling. If, you know, the government is up there yakking away about all these minor things. And this big crisis is looming overhead, and we're not doing anything about it. It would take a little bit of money to fix it, but if we don't do it, what George said could come to pass. And don't you think that our enemies aren't aware of our vulnerabilities?
Through the years, I'm telling you, some of the best comedy gold I've posted has been from that guy. And some interesting clips, too. You know, you gotta consider the source, but comedy is comedy, right? It is Dabs for Donations Friday. If anybody's interested in helping me out and kicking a little something down, I will do a dab in your honor. And if there's any chance we can get to $50 in donations, we have a lovely Subway gift card to give away. If you'd like to have lunch on Mox News, just let me know. Let me know if that's something you would like us to do. We'll give it away to the 5th caller. I always enjoy doing that. It always seems exciting and fun, except for when no one calls. All right, so where were we? Right, so EMP attacks. I thought that story was very interesting because of the, you know, the whole United States could be shut down for over a year. No electricity, right? Craig used to watch some TV show like that where there was like the East and the West and they were at war because of, I don't know, but there was no electricity. I think that was it. I think there was a show like that. He seemed to really enjoy that. I didn't see it. I mean, I just would tune in when I'm heating up a cup of tea or something. But I found that very interesting. I don't see that anywhere else in the news. I almost pretty much never hear anyone talk about an EMP attack, which really caught me off guard because we talked about it like 10 days ago or something. I was like, what? So, I have more videos. I'd love to talk with you. Whatever you'd like to talk about, more or less, I'm open to. And I hope you have some good plans for the weekend. If you have a movie recommendation, that would be awesome. I love good movies. I watched Nobody again. If you haven't seen Nobody, I highly recommend it. I love that movie. Has the guy from Better Call Saul. I can never remember his name. It has Raza from Wu-Tang Clan. Is that where Raza's from? And has Christopher Lloyd and about a bunch of other people I don't know. It was directed by the person who directed the movie Hardcore Henry. If you haven't seen Hardcore Henry, I can't recommend that highly enough, unless of course you don't enjoy non-stop incredibly violent action movies. Because if you don't like that, I would not watch Hardcore Henry. And see, the thing about the movie Nobody, which I just watched again for the 3rd time, I think it's like a masterpiece. I love this, the director. This is his second movie, Hardcore Henry. If you haven't seen it, brilliant. Nobody is like a masterpiece to me, and it's because the pace that it's set at, and the use of music, and the hand-to-hand's just a little bit weak, but it's, you know, I really like it. What's up, caller?
What's up, Monty? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Great, great.
How you doing?
Just cutting out on you. I'm doing all right. You know, as long as this phone thing doesn't screw up on me again, I think I'll be fine.
Are you having some time off now, or are you back in school?
Well, I'm gonna go back to school, but I don't know about time off. I'm switching jobs soon. Well, starting next Monday to be specific. So,
Well, you got plans for
a lot of time.
You got plans for the weekend?
You know, it's kind of, well, I work tomorrow. For my last day at my real the job I'm at now, and then I got Sunday off to prepare to go to my other job. So outside of that, just some video games and stuff.
Oh, you love video games. Yeah. Well, that's good. I mean, that you're gonna take a minute to take a breather, because you definitely deserve that, bro.
Yeah, I'm working hard and it's paying off, but yeah, you gotta relax, you know. You gotta take a time, a day or two yourself every now and then, because if you don't, then you lose sight of it all, you know. Everything just gets all weird. And
is that from you, Z?
So,
is that from you?
You what now?
Did you donate?
Oh, I wish I donated.
Okay. It's not too late. No, somebody just donated.
I get a new job.
I gotta do a dab. We got up to $20. If we can get to $50, we'll give away the Subway gift card. Whoever just donated the Bitcoin, thank you so much. Not Bitcoin, but you know, the partial Bitcoin. $10 brings us to $20. I love it. Bitcoin's on the rise. Go, baby, go. That'll be worth $20 tomorrow. Fucking A.
Yes, it will. Yes, it will. Yes, it will. That's great. Yeah, because I heard this one guy was talking about, Bitcoin and Ethereum needs to be massively regulated, and that's the only way it'll be legit.
Wow.
Price. So yeah, I expect regulations sometime soon.
That's what's gonna kill it. That's the thing that's gonna kill it. Every time they start talking about that shit, it's like. But what I see is, government starting to talk about going all digital and so on. So it's gonna be. It's gonna be. It's here to stay. If governments are doing it, it's here to stay. That's all there is to it.
Yeah. Yeah, the cryptocurrency thing is going to take over, the centralized cryptocurrency anyway. I know, like Bitcoin and Ethereum and stuff is decentralized, so it's going to be very interesting. I'll tell you that much. I'm definitely, I still got my Ethereum stuff. I can't really touch it until I put it all in the Ethereum too. I got to put in finally do it, and then I can play with my money again. Whatever. So yeah, I'll have to throw you a couple Bitcoins there. A couple dollars in Bitcoin your way after this call.
I thought you said you were. Oh, it's your Ethereum that's all sealed up?
Yeah, it's all in Ethereum, but I know I got like a couple dollars in Bitcoin just laying around. So just
right on.
Throw your way.
That's awesome. Thanks.
You do hard enough work, so.
Yeah, I'll be happy to do a bong hit for you too, Z.
I appreciate that, because I'm not going to be smoking for a bit either,
Is that right?
Yeah, I haven't smoked for a couple weeks, man.
Worried about getting a piss test or something?
Yeah, pretty much. Well, I was kind of broke too. Things, like I said, at times it's gotten tough a bit for the disease.
Oh.
That's all right. I'll get through these tough times.
Yeah, dude, you can do it. There's no doubt in my mind. You're a workhorse. You're busting ass. Don't you worry about it. You're gonna make it, son. All you gotta do is keep working hard like you do already. There's not gonna be anything that'll hold you back, man.
Yeah, that hard work's gonna pay off eventually. You know, just gotta keep doing it.
It's gonna pay off real soon, Z. Z, it's gonna pay off.
Yeah, it really
it's gonna
is.
pay off real soon. So just stay cool, man.
Yeah. No, that's fine. And then I'm gonna be. I've already, you know, as long as I figured if it's September, if it's my birthday, which is like late September.
Go Z, it's your birthday. Go Z.
It's your birthday. Get your smoke on. Have fun. You know, that stuff. But I'm thinking, you know, by then, if I haven't been tested, hopefully I won't get tested. And I can just, it'll be like a Saturday night.
Isn't it legal? Isn't it legal where you're at?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but I don't know. It depends, because I know, like, if they receive funding from the federal government, I'm pretty much screwed. But I don't think they do. But I just don't want to take any chances, you know. Like I had a friend of mine the other day, he offered me a joint, and I'm like sitting there thinking, like, man, I want to. I really, really want to, but I know if I do this now, and then because this happened before. Well, like I worked at a factory job a couple of years ago. I worked there 6 months and smoked that K2, that spice crap.
Oh, that's gross, dude. You can't do that. You know you can't smoke that, right? It's bad.
Now I do.
Yeah,
it's bad. Doing it like a dumbass.
Yeah.
Like it was bad. Like it was the middle of winter and stuff. I'd smoke some of it and I'd get in the car and drive, and I would literally lose feeling in my feet.
Yeah.
Like it would just go numb, and I never will forget that. And I think it's permanently ruined my ability to like get like really high. Like I can get high for about an hour, and then I have to do it more because it's like cut my high time in half. It's really annoying.
You gotta eat. You gotta eat weed, man.
Yeah, that's what I really gotta do. You know, there's some.
That's how us grown-ups do it, Z.
I know. I still like to be a little kid and hit the bong like it's going out of style.
Oh, you can still hit the bong, but you don't have to worry about that 1 hour thing. That's all I'm saying. Eat a brownie, and you'll completely forget about taking a bong hit, dude. You eat a brownie, and then you take a bong hit, and you'll completely forget about taking another one. Trust me.
Well, gummy bears are really big in this state for some reason. They're like really easy to get. Like you can get like 20 of them for how much did the guy say? Like it was like buy two get one free deal, and so you're getting like for 20. If you bought 20 gummies, you were getting it for the price of 10.
Yeah, listen, you gotta talk to Pete. I mean, he makes awesome gummies, and they're 10 of them are probably equal to one of his gummies. So, yeah,
that's crazy.
So I mean, and that's what I find about the edibles is that they're just not made of good weed. See, Pete gets good weed and he makes his edibles, and they're fucking mind blowing. You know what I mean? The stuff that they make the edibles out of now is stuff that they can't sell. So.
Yeah, it's like the dirt swag stuff.
Well, it's the trim that comes. It's the sugar leaf and stuff that comes off the flowers, but they can't really sell that. It's a little bit on the harsh side.
So I get it, yeah. But I would rather use the highest quality bud product for my food product services. That's for sure.
Well, it's just a different kind of high. From it's definitely like a higher. If you're using actual flowers, you're going to get a higher THC quality. You're going to get all the things you're looking for. But I'm just saying, if you're having an issue with the 1 hour buzz, that's the solution right there, bro.
Definitely. Yeah, I'll definitely look into that after I get back into things. Yeah, that's always been annoying for me, I'm not gonna lie. And I always blame myself for trying that. So let me go back to what happened. So I was in there for 6 months, and I was trying there nothing but don't smoke this. They're gonna drug test you as soon as they hire you in. And then after 6 months, they're like, dude, this one guy's like, dude, we're never gonna get hired in. Come on, man, just sit in this door and have some fun. I'm like, okay, fine. And then Monday morning, they'll walk us in there. So we're gonna hire you in. You guys ready to do your drug test? We're like, oh, fuck, what are we gonna do?
Yeah.
We ended up just doing that monkey whiz thing, but that was back in the day, when it wasn't when people were really looking for it.
My friend Sam, he does fencing, and meaning with swords and shit like that, a foil, and
oh, that fencing. I was like, oh, good. He puts up pick fences.
Yeah, no, he's as a sport, and he said one of the people that's teaching him, that's his coach or whatever, said that he's not breathing, and he's told him, you should try cannabis. It's really good for, letting you relax and get in your zone. And my friend Sam has never done cannabis, so I gave him like a dozen cookies and a few candies. And he went home, he's like, oh, I ate one of those cookies and I didn't feel anything. And I'm like, yeah, it's kind of a light buzz. Most people don't really experience anything the first time. And and then the second time he ate 2 cookies and he's like, oh, I didn't really feel anything, except for I felt like I was wearing clown shoes, right? But all I'm saying is that it's really... Well, no, and what I was getting to was that the next time, that day, when he was like, oh, I just ate some weed, because he calls me every day to report in, right? He gets a call from 2 places that want to hire him, or do an interview to hire him, and he's just like, shit. The first time I ever take weed in my life, and now I get this. So...
Yeah, that's just luck, That's why it's like you gotta hold back now and make sure that I can smoke later. And when I smoke later, then I'll have more money so I can have a good time.
Well, it's not so much bad luck as Murphy's Law,
Yeah, Murphy's Law. That seems to be more appropriate given the situation. Yeah. Definitely. I agree. Definitely. So yeah, so I was reading an article and I was proven right once again, which is unfortunate. But I read that the Department of Justice isn't going to investigate Andrew Cuomo and all that stuff for all the stuff that he did last year.
They are? I thought they weren't.
Yeah, that's what I mean. They aren't.
Oh yeah.
And this proves that we don't have an America anymore. We have a Democrat land and a Republican land, and that's the exact opposite of what we need.
Right, I agree. This thing with the 2-party system is definitely killing our what America is supposed to be about.
Yeah, which is the problem. They've proven George Washington's farewell address to be absolutely true. We could disagree on him and his lifestyle, but the things he said in his farewell address have come to pass, and that's not good. That is not good.
No.
So, because it's all about the concentration of power for the special interest, or as Washington put, mutual interest that they have with like some elites. Concentrating the power of politics into a small group instead of a large group of Americans.
Yeah, the people instead of the people. And these people, they were visionary, man. I mean, to give people the right to freedom of speech, and and recognize it not as us giving it to you, is that you already have this right. And
already have it.
And the ability to protect. Your family, your own freedom of speech. The way I see it, right, is that they said, first of all, you have the right to live your life the way you want to live, the way you see fit. And secondly, no one can ever take that right from you. So First Amendment, freedom. Second Amendment, boom, protection of that freedom.
Yeah, exactly.
So they were visionaries the way I see it.
Yeah. It's like George Washington, Thomas Jefferson. He wrote about after he wrote the Declaration of Independence. He wrote, the Declaration of Independence just gives you the right to pursue happiness. You have to catch it yourself. So I always thought about that. It's up to you to find that happiness that you were given by the creation of that document. But because that document that's pretty important, It was like us going to the land of kings and queens over there and going, hey, we don't like the way you run things. And it's changed the world over the past 2 centuries or so. You know?
Well, it has.
I mean, the document ain't what it used to be, but that goes back to the previous discussion.
All right. But that doesn't mean it wasn't, it's still not important to the work. It's like an outline for how to do this right. But the people that we have in power who vow to protect that document and those rights, enshrined in the document, they act like that vow means absolutely nothing. They could care less about any of us or our freedom for sure. So,
oh, yeah, it's definitely party over country with these folks, and that's a big part of quote unquote the problem, as I like to call it.
And they're exactly. I mean, it's not like there's any difference between the parties. So
no,
it's just this one big party as far as in Congress in Washington. It's just they're all on the same side, and they got you convinced that there's different sides. There really isn't.
Yeah, it's like another dude, my boy Jimmy Dore, another guy I got supposed to be with one day, says there is no two-party system. There is only one party, and that is the money party, and that's what it is. It's a bipartisan establishment of two parties that want to sit there and take your money and give it to their buddies, whether it's Jeff Bezos or Mark Zuckerberg or even their own back pockets. About taking people. It's about reverse Robin Hood. They're taking money from the poor and giving it to the rich.
Yeah, which is this is absolutely not what we're supposed to be doing as far as governing goes, and it's really unfortunate that like I say again and again, this is not what I want. I don't want to sit here and bitch about the government. I really don't. Unfortunately, the current government really gives none of us any other choice, unless of course you just want to be completely ignorant of what's going on. Which is fine. I don't think that's a bad choice. I do not.
And I understand people that do, because it's like, I don't blame you if you just want to sit there and watch anime girls play video games on the internet. That's fine. I don't mind doing that too. Well, I understand if you want to talk about the establishment, because that is a big issue on its own right, but it's pretty difficult to talk about because everybody's like, oh, no, you know, watching you.
Yeah, well, the thing about what I talk about is I talk about stuff that affects us all, regardless if you want to pay attention to it or not. The reason that I'm talking about it is because it affects everyone. When I talk about cannabis.
You talk about some great subjects that not a lot of other people do, Moxie. That's why I like to subscribe to you. I got to watch your videos more often, though. They don't show up on the feed because, YouTube jerks.
Yeah.
They keep on subscribing me, even though I swear, Pat McAfee single-handedly unsubscribed me because he was mad at me about posts. But whatever, that's just me thinking. But it's just, ever since this year started, YouTube has just gone down the crapper,
Oh, trust me, it's been a lot worse. I mean, it's been going on a lot longer than that. But it went into hyperdrive in the last, since just before the election, or maybe, since Donald Trump. It's really, just gone off the charts, off the rails completely when it comes to freedom of posting on the social media.
Yeah, they've used the Orange Man to destroy everybody's ability to be able to have free expression on the internet. There is no freedom of expression on the internet.
Yeah.
There's just censorship now because, like I said previously, the Orange Man bad, so we must ban your ability to be able to talk about this subject because they have something related to Orange Man bad. It's ridiculous, but that's another part of the issue. They can't win their argument, so they'd rather cheat and just destroy it or delete the post or whatever.
They view people like myself as troublemakers, which I prefer the name thought criminal. Probably the same thing, depending. A little bit of this, a little bit of that, tomato.
You're like Roddy Piper in the movie They Live after they get the glasses on, and then the alien guy's like, "Oh, he's got the glasses on. We better take care of this guy." You know?
I love that movie, dude. I love that movie.
Me too, man. Best fight scene in a movie ever, you know.
Oh, you have
sunglasses, and then they beat the shit out of each other for 5 minutes.
Oh man, Nobody. You need to watch Nobody.
Nobody.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I do need to watch Nobody.
Yeah.
I remember that. I keep seeing it on my feed, and I go, and then I saw the preview, and that's like the I can't remember the name of the actor, but I know him from other movies, and I remember watching the preview going, this movie's good. I gotta see this movie. And that reminded me of it.
Yeah.
I've been so bad on movies, man. Like I was
you don't have much. You don't have much.
He was like,
you don't have much free time, so you know, and you like spending your time playing. So.
Yeah, I play. You know, most of my free time spent just playing video games or studying or listening.
That's not
to music.
free time.
You know, I used to watch a lot of movies when I was
Studying
younger.
is not free time. So you know.
Can't
you listen? Can't you listen to music while you study though?
I do that sometimes, but it does get distracting. So I actually do prefer to have a very silent area.
Yeah.
Like I love going to like the library and going into the study room for like 2 hours.
Wow.
And I'll just sit there and like take a break for like every half an hour. I'll walk out and get some drink of water and go back in there. I just need to have like, you know, like one of those silent, one of those this sound deprivation room. That's what I really want to study at, because then it's like I need to have no noise, because then it's distractions. Then it's like, oh, I love this song. Oh, I'm not gonna read. I better listen to this instead of read. So.
Or at least play air guitar to it.
Well, that's the thing too. I do enjoy some air guitar, and it's like, oh man, I love this solo. I'm right in the middle of a chapter. Screw this now. I'm closing the book for 5 minutes. Let's rock out, you know. Oh man. But yeah, so thought I'd call and chat for a little bit, but it might be a little while before I call you again because I'm doing all this stuff. But I'm gonna definitely do my best to try to give you a ringy ding, you know.
Hey, it's always good to hear from you, Z. It's always good to hear from you. I hope that you find some time for yourself.
I have. This has been a very enjoyable summer. I'm not gonna lie to you. This is probably one of the best summers I've ever had. I've found myself. I finally let myself out of the box. I finally started. I don't know. I'm not gonna get into too many details, but I solved a lot of issues that held me back over these past 5-10 years in my head, and you know, broke through a lot of mental blockades. And I feel like I'm really finally about ready to start kicking life's ass.
Nice.
So,
I'm so.
You'll be seeing it out there.
I'm so glad to hear that, dude.
Sorry.
I'm so glad to hear that. It sounds like you had it pretty rough sometimes. Like I said, you're this. You're this guy who's gonna make shit happen, because look how hard you work to get to where you're at now, dude. And you're about to skyrocket off. So keep the faith and stay cool.
That's the way, man.
Yeah.
Hard work pays off. I keep saying it, and then I heard the running back for the Lions, Jamal Williams, say he said hard work pays off, and then I just got so hyped up, I started clapping. I was like, that's right. Hard work pays off, motherfucker. Oh man, I was so pumped up. This is great, you know. I finally started a new chapter. And this chapter,
that's so good.
I know the title of it.
Yeah.
Zubas finally wins.
Nice.
That's the name of this chapter.
Awesome.
Of my life.
Well, I'm really, like I said, I'm really glad to hear that you feel like you're finding yourself finally, and I hope I helped.
Yeah, well, I mean, you did. You really did, Moxie. You know, you've been a good guy. You know, I consider you my friend. I really do.
I'm like,
you know,
go to the park, goddammit. Do it today.
Yeah. I went to the park, and I went to the park. Okay, so I'll tell you this real quick before I go. So I went to the park finally, and I fucking walked around. I'm like, oh, this is great. I'm glad Mom's told me to do this. And they're like, oh, this is awesome. I'm going to sit down. There's all these swans out there in the river, and they're floating around. And I sit down, and I'm like, I'm like, what the heck? I look down. And there's like freaking 10 mosquitoes on me all of a sudden. I'm like, slapping my leg like crazy old Oh man, my legs were all bumped up, man. I felt like I was a turkey, and they were trying to, my legs became turkey legs with them or something, man.
There's not a whole lot of things that I wish I could kill all of them, but mosquitoes are one of those things.
Yeah, I don't really like to wish death on things, but fuck mosquitoes, man. I'm tired of those damn things.
They got no business drinking my fucking bodily fluids. I am not good with that.
Yeah, I produce that blood. Stop stealing my blood, you fucking idiot. God, I don't need this in my life. I've already got enough fishies, If you want my blood, I'll give you a glass, I guess, you crazy bug bastards, but...
Fuck that.
But I still...
Not unless you put poison in it.
I walked for the hour.
Yeah.
I went to 2 different parks, walked around the one park, walked around the other park, and I was walking through this boardwalk part underneath the bridge, and I look ahead of me, and there's this guy, and I'm pretty sure he was making this motion. It looked very similar to humping somebody, so I'm like, I'm not that bridge. Nuh-uh. I'm pretty sure that he's banging somebody in broad daylight underneath that bridge. So we got some weird parks here. I'll tell you what. But, that's just how it is. You gotta do something, you gotta do something. But I walked around. And
that right there is freedom, baby.
Yeah, that's the freedom. Freedom to bang a homeless chick under the bridge.
No, it's the freedom to feel like something and make it happen. All right, I want to bang some bitch under the bridge, and boom! Look at that.
There we are, going at it. It's like 2 mice in a war sock. Oh man, that's funny, Moxie. That's funny, dude. All right, man. So I'll let you go by. Have a good night. Smoke one for the Zoobs, and I'll try my best to call you on the 17th of September, because I know 18th on a Friday. We'll have a chat.
Oh, awesome. Well, I look forward to talking to you always, Z.
So I do appreciate that, Max. So, all right, you have a good night and keep fighting a good fight as always.
Okay,
Thanks to everybody else out there in the world.
Stay cool. We'll get through it, bro.
Yeah, we will. We'll win eventually. Not now, but soon.
Yeah.
Definitely.
All right.
All
right. So let's see. I have a video here about Kennedy talking about getting paid to get vaccinated. I know you guys know that I have a thing for Kennedy, so I thought that you might enjoy this because I always do. Otherwise, I wouldn't share it with you. There's a song in there somewhere. Clip number 3. I'll be back. I'm going to make a cup of tea. I'm telling you, dude, I am fucking spitting the rhymes today.
All hail Queen Pelosi and her icy scepter she uses to probe the body politic. The House Speaker today making it official. All House members must once again wear masks on the floor. I wish they were those kinky, eyes wide shut kind. Wink, Nance. Many Republicans are furious, but if you question the Speaker's judgment, she thinks you're a moron. Pelosi made the announcement today after the congressional doctor, Conrad Murray, gave her the recommendation, and of course she sided with him. A number of Republicans said they've had enough, including Texas Congressman Chip Roy, who exploded with Texas rage. Watch this.
We have a crisis at our border, and we're playing footsie with mask mandates in the people's house. I mean, it's absolutely absurd what this body is doing, the people's house. It's an embarrassment. It's a mockery. And the American people are fed up. They want to go back to life. They want to go back to business. They want to go back to school without their children being forced to wear masks, to be put in the corner, to have mental health issues. And the Speaker comes down here at 10 o'clock in the morning saying we got to wear masks in the people's house while we've got thousands of people pouring across our border and Democrats don't do a darn thing about it. We are absolutely sick and tired of it, and so are the American people. This sham of an institution is doing nothing for the American people, nothing for the betterment of the people that send their representatives here.
He's masked as hell. House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy also said it has nothing to do with science. It's all political. So this morning, the Speaker called McCarthy a moron. And then reporters later asked her about that. Watch.
To clarify something from earlier, Is Kevin McCarthy a moron, and if so, why?
To say that wearing a mask is not based on science, I think is not wise, and that was my comment.
Oh, there's a difference between being not wise and being a moron, Nance. Reporters then questioned McCarthy about the insult, and he politely asked, quote, well, if she's so brilliant, can she tell me where the science in the building changes between the House and the Senate? That is a valid point because there is no mask mandate on the Senate floor. And as you may recall, this isn't the first time Pelosi has done this. The past spring, she fined any member who didn't wear a mask in the chamber. 3 Republicans are now suing Pelosi to get their fine money back. Ralph Norman, Marjorie Taylor Greene, she's a wingnut, and our friend Thomas Massie here to discuss Kentucky Republican Congressman and House Judiciary Committee member Thomas Massie himself, author of that lawsuit. So you sued the old bird, did you?
Yeah, this is kind of delicious because a year ago she called me a dangerous nuisance on television. Not a moron, but a dangerous nuisance. So we filed in federal court here in Washington, D.C. It's unconstitutional what she did. She's trying to use our salary to modify our behavior. And the 27th Amendment says you can't do that. You can't vary a member's salary. And there's another part of the Constitution that says you can only vary the salary based on a law. Now, a law has to pass the Senate, be signed by the president. But as you put it, she's Queen Pelosi, and she's doing whatever she wants. And she goes in there without a mask in the speaker's chair. I mean, it's only, the lowly, backbencher Republicans that will have to wear the mask or pay the fine. So, but this isn't about us, Kennedy. This is about what's going on in the rest of America. It's not about $500 for 3 congressmen. It's about this is going to happen to our school children and to people who are just going to work and to members of the military, and we're standing up for them with this lawsuit.
And, we're talking about vastly different Americas because Northern California, from whence Queen Nancy arrived, and the Commonwealth of Kentucky, very different parts of the country, and people view the virus differently, and they also view the mandates differently.
Right, but the virus doesn't view a cloth mask any differently in California or Kentucky or in Washington, D.C.
Or between the Senate and the House, does it?
That's right. This is the same doctor giving advice for the Senate and the House. Yet how is it we end up with mask fines in the House? It's somewhat ridiculous. And we're ready to take this all the way to the Supreme Court. I don't know if we'll win or lose, but I think we're going to win. And when we do, this is really going to hem in the power of the Speaker to control members using their salary.
Because, you do have a point there, that it's one thing to issue a fine, and I'm sure she's within her right to do that, even though these could be arbitrary rules. But how are you supposed to pay the fine traditionally? I mean, should it come out of your paycheck?
Well, she could send me a bill to Kentucky, but good luck trying to collect it. She's not going to get it. Another prong of our lawsuit, which is really important, is the First Amendment. She is compelling speech. Kennedy, do you realize the only place they fine you in the House of Representatives is in the chamber? As soon as we walk out and leave the chamber and go in the hallways or our offices, there's no fine. It's all about theater, and if you're on TV, you could get fined, but if you're not on TV, you don't. So we have a First Amendment case here, too. She's trying to compel our speech. The mask is a symbol she's trying to make us wear.
Who's nuttier, Matt Gaetz or Marjorie Taylor Greene?
I love them both.
You got some weird friends in the House, man. Ever since Judge Dimash left, I feel like you've been in no man's land. I feel like you've been adrift.
Here's my analogy. Look, in the race for craziest congressman, I used to lead a few laps now and then if Louis Gohmert would go get a set of tires. But now I'm struggling to stay on the lead lap, and I'm just drafting behind a lot of these folks.
As long as you're on the side of liberty and rationality and the Constitution, I'm fine with it. I'll allow it, but there are some weirdos where you work.
By the way, crazy is an endearing term to me up here in Washington, D.C., where everybody that's normal, frankly, is not good for America.
Do you think it's problematic that half of Republican Congress people will not disclose whether or not they've been vaccinated?
No, I think it's nobody's business. And what I also think is crazy is that they think I should ritually take a needle in my arm on a TV show and demonstrate to people that I'm willing to, take the sacrament. It's almost a religion, but it should be a personal choice and it should be a private choice. I'm not anti-vax. I am vax choice.
All right. Well, I choose to not curtail my life because people have chosen to not be vaccinated. So I am sick of these blanket lockdowns and mandates because there are so many people who won't get the jab. I got the jab over and over and over again. I'm about to talk about that. Oh, go ahead. Last word, Congressman.
Natural immunity should count for something, and as we're seeing, it's actually more resistant to the variant. Don't go out and get infected, but if you've already survived it and you have proof of antibodies, then, you know, there's a consideration whether you need the jab or not.
Yeah, I quit licking doorknobs about a year and a half ago. But, you know, I'm pretty happy where I'm at. Congressman Thomas Massie, thank you so much.
Thanks, Kennedy.
Woo. All right, meanwhile, the vaccine pushers, they're getting desperate. Today, New York City Mayor Bill de Blasio announcing a new bribery scheme to lure the unvaccinated into taking the jab. Watch this.
Starting on Friday, when you get your first dose, you will get a $100 incentive. $100 for any New Yorker who goes to a city-run site to get vaccinated. We'll say thank you. We'll say we're really glad that you got vaccinated for yourself, for your family, for your community. And here's $100.
$100? What is this? The Price is Right? So where's my money, bish? I already took the shot, and all I got was free donuts, a rum and coke, a fireball shot, a Barcalounger, a home gym, and a brand new car. Shouldn't those of us already vaccinated get that payday too? And if the city is giving away $100 for taking the first dose, what's to bring these people back to take dose number 2? $200? We're going to be broke before you know it. Let's get into it with tonight's party.
All right, let's see. I got a big old bong hit ready. Actually, do I have one ready? Close. It's close. Almost ready. We need a little bit bigger bong hit than that. And this one is for whoever it was that sent the crypto. Very nice of you. Thank you very much. Bong's a little hot, but I will be puffing that in your honor momentarily. Doesn't look like much in that picture, but it's good. It's called, not that. It's called Animal Cocktail. It said cock. It says cock. Animal Cocktail. That is some good. So I'm going to have a little puff of that here for the person who sent in the crypto. Thank you so much. Bringing our grand total to $20. And of course, we have the $50 goal in order to give away the lovely Subway gift card, which is around here somewhere. This one's for you. If it shows up any better on the purple sunset. The picture on the space station seemed to be a little bit smaller, so I thought maybe if I increased the size of the picture of me, maybe you could see the smoke a little better. Man. Now, I left my tea downstairs because it was still heating up when I knew the end of the clip was coming. I hear this in what Kennedy's saying. She's saying, people are getting $100 to get, they're getting paid $100. And Joe Biden said in his speech that he wants to encourage all communities to pay people $100 to get the flu shot. Or the whatever it's called, COVID-19 vaccine, $100. And I think about I think like Kennedy was saying, about all the people who've already gotten their shot. And, you know, and it's so strange that they have all that money to give away like that. And like Kennedy was said, oh, what about to get the second shot? You know, how much money do they get for that? There's just a whole lot of stuff going on. I never in my lifetime have I experienced this kind of, I don't know, this, whatever it is that's happening now, you know, it's like they're paying people to get a shot, okay? I don't know what that means. I don't know why they would do that. And I've never seen anything like it in my life. So, I'm just saying. And I do love Kennedy. That girl is special. I'm telling you.
I mean, this coalition of misfits, and they cobble together and they don't attack each other. They stay united. I wish the coalition of misfits, and they cobble together and they don't attack each other. They stay united. Coalition of misfits, and they cobble together and they don't attack.
Where were we? Oh, yeah. Okay, so I hope you all have something wonderful to do this weekend. I am waiting for someone to call. We're going to be done here very quickly. I have a couple more clips, but the weekend is waiting. I do want to play the clip about the passport protest in, I think it's France. It says Europe on my clip thing, but I believe it's France where the clips are from. So I'm gonna play that for you now. Protest over vaccine passports in Europe, and I think this clip is from France, but it may be multiple protests. So I know it's been going on for a couple weeks, and we did play a clip of that. I think about 10 days ago. It might have been 2 weeks ago, about not employers, but business owners saying, yeah, we're not going to ask our patrons for a identification, you know, to whether or not they can enter our restaurant, you know, prove that you've been vaccinated. We're not going to do that, which I love. And I love that on the international news, they're showing this, you know, the France and people saying, yeah, because everything, the narrative on the U.S. news is nothing but positive, positive, positive. I'm so glad we did the right thing. There's got, you know, this thing where there's never another side of the story, you know, and that other side of the story is kind of just as important. You know, they're acting like there is no other side of the story, and don't look behind the curtain. And I can't question, and you can't question. So, but at least we're having some protests in the streets, in the EU, or maybe France. I'm sure in France, but I'm not sure where else. I'm going to play that for you now.
Well, in Europe, some citizens are now revolting against so-called vaccine passports, often necessary to travel, dine out, even go to museums. Senior Foreign Affairs correspondent Greg Palcott live for us in London with more on this. Greg.
Trace, that's right. There's a lot of stuff happening in Europe that could be foreshadowing what's going to happen in the United States regarding COVID-19. French cities like Paris, for example, have been seeing a lot of angry protests. With COVID cases going up and vaccinations lagging, the French government is mandating all health workers in France to get shots. Some don't like it. And yes, starting next week in France, you won't be able to go to a restaurant or any other public place without a pass that shows either you've been vaccinated or you've tested negative for COVID. Here in the UK, they're trying to go in the other direction, announcing starting next week, visitors from the US and Europe won't have to quarantine upon arrival. Of course, the US is still recommending against travel here. And after lifting most restrictions last week, including, by the way, mandatory indoor mask wearing, so far anyway, the UK has seen a reduction in COVID cases. Still, people are being told to self-isolate if they've been in contact with an infected person. That is causing problems. And just today, we're seeing a slight uptick in cases here. So I don't think anybody is saying they're out of the COVID woods yet, whatever country you're in. Back to you.
Indeed. Greg Packard live for us in the UK. Greg, thank you.
So, as some of you know, I've been talking about vaccine passports for probably 14 months or so. I'm surprised it's taking this long for anybody to institute them. I really am. I think it's going to spread very quickly. So I think the EU has started doing that slowly over the last, the whole European Union, like all of them as a collective, have started slowly rolling out the passport. And now I think France is making it mandatory. I believe that's what's happening. And I don't think in that particular video they showed business owners. It was just the protesters, but there's also business owners saying, yeah, we're not going to use that, which it should be about the business owners, right? It should be up to them, which I don't think it is. I think they're saying, no, you have to do this, and the business owners, fuck you. You know, which the French are known to do. They invented the flip-off, you know. And that's why it's so weird to me when you see people posing like this. You'll notice I don't do this, because that says fuck you. In case you don't know that already. I fart in your general direction, as Monty Python put it. So I am waiting. No, I have like one more video about Arkansas banning mask mandates. So I'll go ahead and play that for you now. This is going to be more or less your chance to call in, because we have a weekend to get to, people. We're going to the ocean. You know how long it's been since my beautiful baby has been to the ocean? Too long. Me too. I love the ocean. I love the ocean. Like, so it's been way too long. I am really looking forward to it. I'm going to play this clip about Arkansas banning mask mandates, because that's what states' powers is all about. You know, we don't think this is right for our people, so, right?
New York State is the latest to announce a vaccine or testing requirement for employees as a growing number of workplaces move to mandate COVID shots.
That's not the right one. That is not it. It's clip number 10.
So the new masking guidelines are taking on particular significance in Arkansas. The state ban on mask mandates is now in effect.
Yeah, Arkansas is one of 2 states where the CDC says that every county is in a high transmission state. The vaccination rate in the state is around 30%. The governor says the rates have increased by 40% since he's been holding town hall meetings. CNN's Martin Savage is outside Little Rock, COVID testing there in Little Rock, I should say. Martin, the new school year just around the corner, what are schools planning to do?
Well, August 16th is when schools start, at least in the Little Rock area, and there is a great deal of concern by parents and even by teaching staff now as they see these numbers and the Delta variant really kick in this state. And as he pointed out, it's against the law to mandate masks. So it's a problem. And the governor knows that he's meeting with state legislators. There's talk that they may either come back in session or that the governor could pass some executive order to tweak their law and make it so that at least municipalities and schools could have the choice to be able to put in that mandate, but stay tuned on that one. This testing site behind us here, there was a time when demand for testing was so low. I'm talking about the early part of the summer. Hardly anybody was here and the staff had to be cut back. That all changed about a week ago. Since then, the numbers have been going up steadily. 500 people tested at just this site alone in Little Rock on Monday, 300 yesterday. Today, they're at least on par for that same kind of numbers, 200 to 300, maybe more. And it shows you that the low vaccination rate is having a terrible impact. Over 1,000 people in hospitals across the state, over a third are in ICUs, over 200 are on ventilators, and the death toll jumped by 10 yesterday. So, to that low vaccination rate, the governor's been going from community to community, holding meetings to try to encourage people to go out and get vaccinated. Here's what happened Monday. Take a listen.
Does this impact fertility? Well, the answer is no, and that's been the data, but Dr. Delahaye, do you want to answer that?
So at this point in time, there is no evidence that the COVID...
women you shut down from telling their stories. This is ridiculous.
All right, so go ahead, Dr. Delahaye.
So there is no...
That is not good when you get that kind of almost visceral pushback from people who say they don't want the vaccine. The Children's Hospital in Little Rock, by the way, has more COVID patients than they have ever had in the pandemic, and half of them are in the pediatric ICU. Victor?
Martin, I know you've been on the ground talking to doctors in the Children's Hospital, and so what are they telling you about how they feel about all of this?
Well, here's what they see and what they feel, and that is that there is a direct correlation between the fact that what I just stated, that they've got more kids with COVID in the hospital than they have ever seen. And they say it's directly related to that low vaccination rate. The reason being, they say that when the kids come in, they of course query the parents and say, well, did you get vaccinated? And the parents all say no. That's for every child that they have in their ICU. The parents were not vaccinated, and if the kids were of vaccination age, they too weren't vaccinated. They say if the parents don't get it, it's likely the kids who are eligible won't get it as well. And they know that it keeps the Delta variant alive in the community, and they're passing it to the children. And the children pay the price. There was a child that died there just a couple of weeks ago.
All right, Martin Savage for us there in Arkansas. Thank you so much.
Joining us now is Little Rock pediatrician and president of Arkansas Center for Health Improvement, Joe Thompson, who is calling for the reversal of that ban on mask mandates. Dr. Thompson, thanks so much for being here.
All right, enough of those people. I just can't, sometimes I can't stand looking at them for another second. I think some of those people come on and people are just like, oh my God, I can't stand looking at these people for another second. I completely understand. So, that being said, I have, I think that's probably it. I have one more video, but no one's calling, and it's the show isn't really about the video so much. The videos somewhat outline the show and the talking points of the show. But the whole point of the show is to open a dialogue and try and communicate with each other, and I can't do that through chat. It's too distracting, you know, because there's like 20 people that are having a conversation. So, but I can do it on the phone if you guys want. And that's the way that I'm trying to do it. And I think it's not like, I don't know, maybe, I don't really understand. Maybe people are watching on their phone, which makes it hard for them to call. That would be my guess. But we don't have that giant of an audience anyway, so there's only so many people that are going to call, right? All right, so that being said, we do this every Monday through Friday at 7 p.m. Pacific time, which means we'll be back on Monday, same Mox time, same Mox channel. Until then, stay cool, because one of these days, this war is going to end. Stay cool till then. Oh, I'm going to the beach this weekend. I'm going to Ocean. I'm going to Ocean. Ah.
No matter which mouth you feed on a two-headed snake, it still shits the same turd. But lucky for you, you have Mox News. More than 10 years. More than 60,000 videos. Mox News has been filtering the nonsense and illuminating the bullshit from your mainstream media. turn off your TV and turn on to Mox News. For over a decade, documenting the socio-political events that have etched and carved the pathways that define today's modern mess, Mox News has been providing clarity while faithfully bringing you today's relevant stories 100% commercial-free and subscription-free. And just like Lady Liberty vows to remain free. But at this time, we're asking you for your help, your patronage, and your support to keep the lights on and the videos rolling. For less than 17 cents per day, you can become a basic subscriber, knowing that your donation is truly making a difference that will help continue bringing the news stories that make a difference in your life. Turn on, tune in, and drop a couple dimes today by clicking the link below or visiting moxnews.com and show your support at any level. From a single one-time donation or dedicated monthly subscriber, do it now in less than 2 minutes. All donations are safe, securely processed, and verified using PayPal, Visa, MasterCard, American Express, or Discover Card. As always, we're sure you'll find something of interest each and every day. This holiday season, give the gift of Mox. moxnews.com.
Trump won the election. Among the suspect's possessions, this is real, a white privilege card. I want you to take a look at this. It's a fake white privilege credit card. Subtitle, Trump's everything. The card holder, scot-free, with 2 T's. Scot-free is actually spelled with 1 T, but, you know, 2 T's on that card. That one piece of evidence, an insight into the man's state of mind, that he can get away with anything because of his skin color.
Sometimes life can be a little overwhelming. Sometimes the weight of the world can be too much to bear. Sometimes you need to stop worrying and take a deep breath. Sometimes you need cannabis. Introducing Brightside, high-quality cannabis delivered right to your door. Brightside offers an extensive menu of strains and products to meet your needs. Choose the experience you want, and we'll send you the dankest herb, the real sticky icky, some top-shelf marijuana. If you like what we send you, keep the whole jar. We'll even include some nugs for you to blaze. As part of Discovery, you'll get to try new strains and products. Side effects may include euphoria, increased appetite, uncontrollable giggles, elevated sensitivity to musical dopeness, and reduced anxiety. Tetrahydrocannabinol may also induce feelings of existential well-being and relentless optimism. With a Brightside subscription, you can get it once a month, once a week, or whenever you want, all at a price you'll like. And yes, this is a real company.
Do you know who I am? You're the wizard.
Ask your doctor if cannabis is right for you. It probably is. Keep it Brightside.
I mean, this coalition of misfits, and they cobble together and they don't attack each other. They stay united. I wish the coalition of misfits, and they cobble together and they don't attack each other. They stay united. Coalition of misfits, and they cobble together and they don't attack each other. They stay united. Coalition of misfits, and they cobble together and they don't attack each other. They stay united. Coalition of misfits, and they cobble together and they don't attack each other. They stay united. Coalition of misfits, and they cobble together and they don't attack each other. They stay united. Coalition of misfits, and they cobble together and they don't attack each other. They stay united. Coalition of misfits, and they cobble together and they don't attack each other. They stay united. Coalition of misfits, and they cobble together and they don't attack each other. They stay united. Coalition of misfits, and they cobble together and they don't attack each other. They stay united. Coalition of misfits, and they cobble together and they don't attack each other. They stay united. Coalition of misfits, and they cobble together and they don't attack each other. They stay united. Coalition Coalition of misfits, and they cobble together and they don't attack each other, they stay united. Coalition of misfits, and they cobble together and they don't attack each other, they stay united. Coalition of misfits, and they cobble together and they don't attack each other, they stay united. Coalition of misfits, and they cobble together and they don't attack each other, they stay united. Coalition of misfits, and they cobble together and they don't attack each other, they stay united. Coalition of misfits, and they cobble together and they don't attack each other, they stay united. Coalition of misfits, and they cobble together and they don't attack each other, they stay united. Coalition of misfits, and they cobble together and they don't attack each other, they stay united.